let's go flying.
For me. We are currently flying over Lake Te Anau. Lake Te Anau is New Zealand's second largest lake, but it is the largest volume of fresh water in all of Australasia. It has a length of 65 kilometres out the right-hand window, all the way up to the start of the Milford Track, and a circumference of around about 350 kilometres. Over here on the left are the control gates. Now there's no power generated here. This is just to try and control the lake level. It's also one place that you can drive to and walk a bit of the Kepler track without wearing yourself out. Now track Delta Romeo India is the control gates. 1,200 level for the Kepler Mire. Over here also on the left is the golf course of Te Anau. Only $70 for a game of golf. That's not bad for a tourist destination. And on board today we have some lovely people from Holland. You can say hi to your camera if you like. We're off to see the Lord of the Rings movie locations here in sunny Te Anau. Come along. Also over here on the left at the moment is a great example of rural farming New Zealand. On the right hand side, the National Park.
Te Anau.
How different they are and how all the region would have been before we colonised. Starting off our tour of the Lord of the Rings. Over on the right hand side here, this is called the Kepler Mire. Now the Kepler Mire was used in the second Lord of the Rings movie, and it was used as the swamps of Mordor. So as we're flying over, just make sure that no orcs are still here. This was all filmed out on the right hand side. Manapouri traffic, Delta Romeo India is now operating the Kepler Mire 1,200 for the next 5 minutes. And we'll put the Kepler Mire on both sides.
Yankee 8 is now 5 mile run to the Te Anau township on descent through 2000.
There you go, so it's very, very recognisable. What we'll do is we'll cross over right over the top of it, and then we'll do a left-hand turn and we'll put it on the other side of the aircraft. No orcs today? I don't think so anyway. Let's have a look at the left-hand side. Lord of the Rings movie, of course it was filmed a long time before my wife and I bought the company. But we're glad to show you the result of what they did. The Kepler Mire here is very, very hard for access for the film crew, so they didn't spend too much time in here. As you see, there's no roads to it, so it was quite a mission. There you go. Stop number 1, the Kepler Mire, used as the swamps of Mordor. Oh, okay. On the Upper Waiau River. Now the Upper Waiau River was used in the first Lord of the Rings movie for all of the river scenes as the River Ardwin. The first movie location, very recognisable, was about halfway down this long straight of river here on the left-hand side. Once you see the movie, it is very, very, very recognisable. Filming was right down here on the left. Okay. A second Lord of the Rings movie location on the River Ardwin, or the Upper Waiau River, is over here on the right. Now the Upper Waiau River, it is one of the world's best freshwater fishing rivers. There is approximately 400 fish per kilometre in this river. But, as I said, it's been made more famous now because of the Lord of the Rings. Over here on the right, the second to last sweeping corner, this angle from here, this is the way it was shot, right down here on this sweeping corner beneath us. And once again, I will put it on both sides of the aircraft because this is very, very recognisable. Beautiful water, as you can tell, and the water here is 99% pure. You can drink it, you can swim in it. Over here on the left is Shallow Bay. Manapouri traffic, Delta Romeo India, Shallow Bay, 1,100, and we'll be shortly climbing for Norwest Lakes. And this time I'll put it on the left-hand side of the aeroplane.
Yeah, Dragon, Delta Echo, and your Whiskey Charlie, it's in the heat of the RSP at 4,000, probably tracking. Then RSP 4,000.
There you go, so right down here on the left, another Lord of the Rings movie location. What did happen is Peter Jackson was filming here, and then they didn't quite finish the film shoot. They waited till the day after, but the day after, or that night, it snowed. So he had to wait for 2 weeks for the snow to melt, so they could get a continuous movie here. On the right-hand side is the Iris Burn. That's where the Kepler track comes out of into Lake Manapouri. On the right-hand side we have Mount Titiaroa. Now Mount Titiaroa is a pummel granite mountain, giving it the impression that it's snow-covered year-round even when it's not. That's its natural colour. Flying over Lake Manapouri. Lake Manapouri has been voted New Zealand's most picturesque lake. There are 33 islands in it, and almost all of them are forested. The big island in the middle is Pomona Island, and this is New Zealand's largest freshwater island, and it's also predator-free. Lake Manapouri has been made most famous because of the power station at the far end. It took 10 years to build the first tunnel between Lake Manapouri and Doubtful Sound in the 1960s. Also took 14 lives. And the second tunnel was done at the end of the 1990s. To this day, that's still New Zealand's greatest engineering achievement. Okay. On the right-hand side is a place they call the Refrigerator Valley. I'd always thought because it never sees the sun during the winter, but I was told that apparently there was a helicopter that was carrying a load, including a refrigerator, but it got dropped. So maybe that's why it got called Refrigerator Valley? I don't know. On the left-hand side up there at the very far end is the West Arm. That's where the power station that we spoke of earlier is. That's also the way up to Dusky Sound. Is the north arm of Lake Manapouri, and the north arm looks identical to Doubtful Sound. It really does. But over on the left-hand side is the reason why we're here. Down beneath us there is a beautiful waterfall. Now this waterfall is powered by the Norwest Lakes up above. Now the Norwest Lakes up here were featured halfway through the first Lord of the Rings movie when the Fellowship was going south from Riverdale. This was all filmed up in here. Now if it wasn't famous for that, it would be famous for being really beautiful. It's quite a wee spot. Also, if you do follow the Lord of the Rings, this is where, I forget which actor it was, but one of the actors refused to fly up here in a helicopter. So he climbed up here and then he stayed in a tent until all the filming was finished. That was all done in here. And these are the Norwest Lakes. Manapouri traffic, Delta Romeo India operating the Norwest Lakes at 4,000, correction, 3,500. Just a beautiful wee spot. You can see why Peter Jackson chose to film in here. It's just a different world. So as before, we'll fly through one way and then we'll fly back the other. Now the Fiordland National Park that we're flying in, not only is it the largest national park in New Zealand, but it's also a World Heritage Park, and it's the second largest in the world. About 1.2 million hectares. 99% of it has never been and will never be touched by human hands or feet. And it's just stunning. Yep. The Southern Alps that we're flying through, they are the world's second fastest growing alpine system. They have been caused by the tectonic plates pushing between New Zealand and Australia. It's not volcanic. Now, if it wasn't for the westerly weather patterns and the erosion that goes with it, this would be the fastest growing alpine system in the world. Truth is, these mountains are still growing at the same rate as your fingernails per year. And once again, the Norwest Lakes. Keep a lookout for the Fellowship. going south from Rivendell. If you see them, give them a wave. Manapouri traffic Delta. Manapouri traffic Delta Romeo India the Norwest Lakes at 3-5 tracking for the forest burn. There you go, simply beautiful.
Excellent.
Up here on the left we have Mount Luxmore, almost the highest point in the Kepler track, and then down here on the right is something quite special. There's some really beautiful limestone cliffs. Now the special part is that limestone comes from the bottom of the ocean. It's a sedimentary rock that's made from seashells. So the question is, what's it doing down here? Two things must have happened. Either the water's gone down, which it has not, or New Zealand has come up, which it has. But it proves that this used to be the bottom of the ocean.
Yep.
Lord of the Rings tour. If your seatbelts are still on, we'll take you in for a landing.
Okay.
Thou shalt not pass.